Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Egld. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. Now let's jump straight into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see from the December 2023 peak or from the March 2024 peak, they're the exact same peak there at $78. We have corrected down approximately 66%, which is very similar across the board for the entire altcoin ecosystem. And you can see on the daily chart, we're actually dropping back down to a block that I gave you a very long time ago based on these touches from August 2023, September, and October 2023. So this was a major resistance trend line for us in 2023. We broke above it, and now 6 months later, we're coming back down to retest it as support. We have gone slightly below the second fib level, which was our capitulation target there, but we've managed to close all the candles above that. So as long as we stay above this yellow block, we should be fine because we want to be printing a higher low in this case, right? We have this low and we have a higher low here. Now, if we start dropping below $22.50, that's going to raise some red flags for us because in that case, this was just a fake out, right? We did not print a powerful higher high here. So this would have been just a fake out. And essentially what's happening is we're continuing this massive downtrend that we have. And we don't want that, of course. We're looking for a bull market. We're looking for upside in the second half of 2024. Now, are these good buying opportunities? Of course, these are incredible buying opportunities for anyone who has been buying Egld during this rally and for anyone who has been buying Egld above, $100. So if you're getting into Egld here in 2021, in 2022, these are really, really good prices for you to look at because you can bring down that average buying price. The goal is to bring down the average price as low as possible so that you can maximize your profits during the bull market or during the next leg up of the bull market, I should say. Now on the daily, you can see that we've dropped below the index of 30 on the RSI, which indicated that the asset was oversold, and we did see a slight bounce here of approximately 15%, which is not significant. But the last time we were this oversold was back in April 2024, and that gave us a really good signal for a buying opportunity. And we did hit the 1.618 then, which was sitting at $33.62, which after that we have broken below, of course. So right now what could happen is we could see a rally all the way back to the 1.618 at $33.62, and from there we would see a continuation of the downtrend, or we would see a double bottom pattern printed, for example, or we would see a higher low printed. Now I think a double bottom or a higher low are more likely because, again, if we start, again, it depends on Bitcoin, of course. I can't really tell the future, but from the way it looks, Multiversx is not dropping as much as some of the other altcoins with this recent Bitcoin pullback. So it's performing quite well. Worst case scenario for us is a retest of these lows from October and September, and that's it, right? That's the worst case scenario for us if we're still going to be bullish with, with the next leg up. Now, if we lose this, then of course, that's when things could take a turn to the downside, literally, and I'm going to give you the targets to the downside in that case once we switch over to the weekly chart. But let's go further back on the RSI and see where we were oversold the last few times. So back in September, August 2023, these were really good buying opportunities, as well as June 2023. So all of those indicated local bottoms, and of course we saw a massive rally afterwards. Now let's switch over to the weekly and see what kind of long targets should we be looking at? And before we continue with the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon. If you're interested in getting more exclusive content, you want to support me as a creator, and you like what you're seeing here on YouTube and you want more, feel free to check out the Patreon. That's definitely a place for you. There's a 7-day free trial, which means you can get access to all of my content since the inception of the page. So that means you get podcasts, low cap gems, technical analysis, project reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We try to do posts there on a daily basis. We cover airdrops and a lot of stuff that we don't really cover on YouTube because we don't have as much time. And of course, because patrons get more stuff and more content. And if you're interested in that, the link is down below in the description. Thank you all. Let's continue on with the video. All right, so switching to the weekly. Immediately, you can see that we do have this yellow trend line that we are back testing as support. And this is actually very interesting because this used to be our resistance throughout 2022 and 2023. And then we broke above it over here. And we haven't had a back test of support. And that's exactly what's happening over here. So could this be a case of a break above resistance, double top pattern here, double M top, and then a back test of support of previous resistance? Possibly. Quite possibly. So for that to be true, we do need to hold this yellow trend line. So for the next few months, we could be just sliding down this trend line, but as long as we hold it as support, we should be good. So you're looking at potentially $24, $25 here for Egld. You can set up some buy limit orders if you'd like, and you can also target this trading range from September 2023. In terms of targets to the downside in case we do lose the September 2023 bottom. So let's set up a fib there. Targets to the downside here. So from the local top there in January 2024 to the local bottom in September 2023, which as of right now is our presumed bear market bottom. But of course, things could change because we haven't officially reversed the trend here. Okay, so $17.35, $14.75, and then $11.70. Now, personally, I don't think either of these are going to be met, but just in case you want to set up some buy limit orders for a black swan event for capitulation, you could be targeting at least $17.33. That would be your minimal target in case of a breakdown. Now, long term, if we're looking at the bullish scenario, we ran into the 0.382 at $71 here, which is what we did back in August 2022. That sent us into the subsequent downtrend. So that's why the August high is very important to break, which we technically speaking failed to do twice over the past 6 months. So that's why I keep bringing up this top. We need to break above it with the next leg up and back test it as support. From there, we're golden. Okay. And by the end of the bull market, hopefully we're going to be looking at $941 per coin. Is that possible? In my opinion, yes. Now, it would also depend on how fast Bitcoin gets to new all-time highs and starts its massive rally. And it would also be dependent on how quickly Multiversx has its leg up. So for example, if Bitcoin is already sitting at $120,000, and by that point we see Multiverse only getting, closer to its all-time high, I would not be expecting $941 because of the time frames. We can't be expecting Multiverse to do like a 2-3x when Bitcoin's already sitting at, peak prices. So at that point, we would start taking profits earlier, and you get what you get essentially. Because if you want to risk it and you want to sit with your entire bag until you get to $950, well, be my guest. But people have been burned with that same logic many, many times. I have been burned before, so I learned my lessons, and that's why I'm relaying the strategy to you. So it all depends on the market in general. But if we see Multiversx picking up towards the end of the year, we have a massive move to the upside. We break above the all-time high, while Bitcoin is still sitting around 100K, maybe 90K. then that would be a different scenario. Then we can start selling slightly, let's say 10% at the all-time high, then we can do more at 550, then 700, then 800, and then we could sell more at 940, and so on and so forth. So it depends on the time frames. Let's take a look at the RSI. You can see that we're very close to our massive buy signal. So if we go back and we take a look at the price action chart and we compare that with the lows that we had here. So this low was back in May 2022, and at that point we were sitting at roughly $30, well, $36. Then you have this low from December 2022, and at that point we were sitting closer to $30. Then we have this low from August 2023, which is our bear market bottom as of right now. And the RSI also bounced right from that blue block. And a very similar situation we have right now. If we switch over to the stochastic, you can see we are in the oversold, and we've been for quite a while since the end of March. Similar situation occurred back in September last year, in June/May last year, in January 2023, and you can see how all of this lines up nicely with local bottoms. Then you have July 2022, which was over here. So again, we are in the oversold here, and we've been for quite a while. We haven't been in it for as long as we have right now, for quite a while. The last time we were in for this long was back in 2022. So again, this is a massive indicator for me. This is a massive bottom structure that we're printing here. And as long as we hold the yellow trend line, we should be good to go for the next leg up. We can also add a fib here, assuming that, let's say, the current low is going to be our local low. And then we're going to be looking at $130, by the end of Q3, let's say. Q3 into Q4 of 2024, we would be looking at $130 because that's our 1.618, assuming, of course, we're going to break above these two local tops. That's pretty much it for my Multiverse Egld update. Let me know if you're still bullish on the project. Let me know what is your average buy-in price. Full disclosure, I still hold my tokens. I'm still staking. I'm still bullish on the project. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.